Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I'm in my car. I think you can tell I'm on my way to Goodwill for the very last Goodwill run, and it just dawned on me that this is the last time I'll be chatting with you in my car in Maine. But I will be chatting with you in this car in Mississippi soon. I hope this trip can go off as planned for, the second time. I hope the second time works. Please, let's not have it be a third time's the charm. I want second time to be the charm. My sister is here with my mother, so I'm taking advantage of that. I did call Goodwill to see if they were open, and I'm glad I did because they said yesterday they had to close down, so I want to hurry up and get there. I do not have the camera facing out hooked up because I don't want to take the time to edit a 2-camera video, so I'm just going to chat with you along the way, but I'm going to wait until I'm on kind of smooth roads because the camera rattles now, and, hopefully I'll have something to talk about. So let's just get going. I'm at a red light, and I don't know, what the glare is like. I hope I have the right setting. It would have been nice if I would have had a camera pointing out because the trees are colorful, and I would have liked you to see that. I'm sure I've probably done ride-alongs where you saw the trees, but I didn't do that, so you're not going to see them unless, I don't know. I don't know what you can see when I'm driving, but, green light. This is about as smooth of a ride as we are going to have, so I thought I'd turn the camera on and chat a little bit. Not sure about what. I did a bunch of intros on this video because I kept fucking up. One of them said that my sister is with my mother right now, but I don't know if that one will make the cut. So I want to let you know that my sister is with my mother. I didn't just leave my mother alone for what's going to be at least an hour, could be more, because it takes a little bit to get to Biddeford, depending on traffic. But, so she's sitting with her, so that's good. My mother had a rough night, which means I had a rough night. I'm always tired. I don't know if I will ever recover from this. I've got to say, if I could start over and I knew then what I know now, I don't think I would ever have attempted this move. I don't think so. I would have either learned to make calls and deal with, getting people to plow and, having a plumber on hand in case pipes freeze, in case power goes out, but I really didn't want to deal with all of that. So the other option would be that I could live as a hermit and just be, bundled up in case power goes out and I have nothing. So, I'm still glad I'm going. I hope it can happen. I'm still not, telling you guys the final plans because it could all fall apart. It better fucking not fall apart is all I can say because it would disrupt everything. So I'm very nervous, and I'm nervous enough where I'm not sleeping good, and then to have my mother also keeping me awake and up and for various things, it's just, oh my God, I don't know. Not everybody could do this. Ding dong. I'm not, saying, patting myself on the back like I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't do it either. Apparently I can because I am, but boy, oh boy, it's not, hospice care at home is not cut out for everyone, I will tell you that. And that's why I've mentioned before that people will say, oh, you're doing the best thing for her, and how kind and all this, and and then other people who can't do it, that can make them feel very, very sad that they weren't able to do that for their family members or whoever. It isn't something that everybody can do. Just the physical work. There's a lot of people who can't do the physical part of it. I can barely do it, but I'm doing it, and I'm just doing it to the point where if I'm going to hurt myself, I'm not doing it. If my mother's too low in the bed and I can't pull her up this time, she's staying low in the bed. That's all there is to it. So, but it's a lot. It really is. It was so cold in this car. I was like, wow, it must be like only 30 degrees out. And it was 48, which is, comfortable for me. But then I looked and I had the AC blasting. It kind of felt good. I was so hot leaving the house. Because even though I knew I was doing this yesterday, my plan was to fill the car with the Goodwill stuff. I had some. Then I wanted to put the rest, and then I also had stuff from the cellar that had to come in the car, and I did the cellar portion, but then I forgot to put the living room area stuff in the car, so I had to do that just before leaving, and it made me hot and sweaty. So the car is pretty much full. Trunk is too, and I am just doing this for the last time for Goodwill, and if there's other things that I, am not taking with me, they're either going to just go to the dump. My neighbor has his trailer parked at my house so I can throw things in it, or it's just going to stay at the house because I have some thoughts. Actually, I'm getting close to the Goodwill, and I got a lot of lights and traffic, and I always have to pay attention because I never know which lane I'm supposed to be in. So I'll tell you my ideas as soon as I'm done with Goodwill. I got lucky. There's only one car ahead of me, and it looks like they're almost done. Quite a bit of traffic today, and a lot of sunshine, and it's on the left side of me, and it's the kind that just flickers through the trees. I hate that so much. So I'm hoping that my visor helps. Okay, my idea, and I think I might have talked about it, but again, sometimes I cut big parts out of videos that I record, so I don't know if you actually, heard certain things. But here's how I'm making it okay to leave my house. And I just shared this with Derek, maybe last night, or I think so, because he's like, you're still going to have a lot of stuff at the house. And I said, yes, I am. And what I'm telling myself is that I'm moving to Mississippi, but I can come back anytime I want. My wishes would be that I could be a snowbird. There's nothing I would have loved more than spend the summers in Maine and all the rest of the year in Mississippi. I would absolutely love that. And I would do that, but my house is falling apart, and I do not want to soak my hard-earned money into fixing up that house. But I could make some repairs. I could say this summer I'm having this done, and this summer I'm having that done. It's something I could do. I think once I'm moved and all this agony is over, I might be more willing to fix up a house that is not filled with 70 years of clutter, So I'm in no rush to sell it. I'm not. The other thing, though, for me to be able to go back and forth, the other thing that has to happen is that my mother would have to have died, because I cannot ever make her make a move again. I mean, this is it for her. She's moving to Mississippi, so I'm pretty much there in Mississippi. I don't care if my mother was, taken off hospice and in a nursing home. There's no way I would leave my mother in a nursing home there where, I'm not there to visit her. So after my mother's time is up, I could very easily come back to Maine for the summers. I would absolutely love that. And so that's how I'm getting through it. On the other hand, when I'm in Mississippi, I might be like, fuck Maine, I'm never going back there. And in that case, I can drop the price of the house, sell it with everything in it. Or I can tell them, get my neighbor, he'll be happy to clear stuff out. So, that's how I'm getting through it. And that's like Derek when he said, you're still going to have stuff there. And I said, I know. I said, I'm pretending that I'm coming back. He says, that's good. It doesn't have to feel final, because I know to him too, it would be odd to not have a place in Maine. I don't know. So maybe I could even get him to come sometime, for a whole month in the summer. Skylar, I know she's going to miss her summer visits. She's been doing it since she was 2 years old, and the only year she missed was 2020 because of the pandemic. You know, so that's just the way I'm looking at it. Now, if I did sell the house, I obviously want Skylar to still have, you know, a connection with her cousins. I would have no problem renting a place, maybe at the beach, for a couple of weeks, something like that, and, you know, still taking Maine vacations, you know? So that would be different than, you know, I don't think I'd ever want to do my summers in Maine in an apartment in Maine, because it's really the house that's the draw for me. But if I rented a place to just vacation so Skylar and her cousins could be together, I could do that. Maybe, you know, but it might make me sad to be in Maine and not be at that house, even though that house is, you know, just, I don't have a lot of fond memories of like what I've been through these past 20 years with taking care of or not taking care of that house. That's where my train of thought is, just to make this transition a little bit easier. And I'm not just, you know, trying to fool myself. It is very possible and doable that I could come back. There's people who do that all the time. You know, they go south for the winter and they come home. So here's what we do in the winter in Maine, or any place that has winter. If you leave a house, you have it winterized. So that means all the pipes will be blown out, so nothing can freeze, and, you know, pipes can't burst and flood your house. The water is shut off, and you don't have to heat it. So I don't have to worry about running the heat and hoping that we don't lose power so that I can't heat the house and have the pipes break. And then I don't have to, you know, worry about snow, to shovel snow for the oil man to get to putting oil in my house. So it's just winterized, and that's it. And then when you go back, like if I were to go back next summer, you just have it unwinterized or de-winterized. I don't know. And then you have it winterized again. And, you know, it's a little pricey, but again, if I wanted to come and spend my summers in Maine, I'd do that. I would pay for that. The only other issue, you can see how far in advance I've been thinking of this. The only other thing is a car. I would not want to buy a car for Maine that would just stay in Maine, because there would be many, many months that it's not being run, and I wouldn't want that responsibility of, having to sell a car and I'm not even there. So I would have to rent at that point. And again, you know, it just might be something worth doing. That's all. And here's another thing I've been thinking about, and I wish it would have worked out for us now, but it didn't. First of all, my apartment, last night I was looking it up to get the dimensions of the rooms to try to figure out what I want to do. I'm still not sure what I'm even bringing. And the prices for a one-bedroom are over $2,000 now. I'm locked in at $1,400 for a two-bedroom. So I'm glad that I locked in when I did. And it's weird that the one-bedrooms are higher priced than the two. And I don't know why that is. I just don't know. The two-bedrooms right now, like mine, are anywhere from like 17 to 19. My phone ding-dongs all the time when I'm on the road, but it's not ever texts. So I'm glad I locked in my price. And now the other thing is, when I was looking for apartments, I knew I wanted to be very near Derek. I wanted to be in his complex if possible. But right up the road from him, I don't know, maybe a half mile, is another complex for senior living. What's the other word for it? I don't know. But, you know, people my age or up can live there. You have to be, at the time I was told 65. I'm 61. I was 60 at the time. And then another time I called, she said 62. So I don't know if they dropped it or if the first person just didn't know what the hell they were talking about. But I'll be 62 next year. And if Derek is still living in the complex he's in, I might move. That move will be a breeze. I won't have junk and I won't have to declutter, and it'll just be down the road. All right, I just had to cut a bunch of stuff out because weird. I'm weird. So I'm skipping that. So this transition might not be a smooth one. I'm not really sure where I left off or where I'll be cutting off. But I know I was talking about the other apartment that I'd like to be in because I'm already planning my next move. If Derek is still in that area, then I would just be moving down the street. And even if Derek moves, I might like a retirement community type atmosphere. Expensive. I'm looking at about $3,000 per month. And if the hospital got my mother's condition completely wrong and my mother is still with me next year, she would have a nurse around the clock there. So that would be cool. And she would have help included in the rent. But if I have her needing that, then we're looking at maybe $4,000 or $5,000 per month. But I'd have the help built in. But even for just me, it's quite pricey. But I would have, I think that place has 2 swimming pools, indoor and outdoor. So I would have year-round swimming. A 50-seat movie theater. I thought that was kind of cool. But I mean, I wouldn't get an apartment for those reasons. But I think that would be cool, and I think I would utilize that. And then, like, the meals are included, or you can opt in for that. If the dining room would say to me that I can have all the meat that I want for meals and just meat, I would absolutely opt into that. Have everything fucking cooked for me. I can't even imagine. I'll take 6 hamburger patties, please. Thank you. And I wouldn't eat in the dining room. I would take it to my apartment. So I'm actually thinking of that. I'll be 62 next year. The lease will be up for this place that I'm in. And I could move up the street, down the road, wherever. So I'm thinking about that. And then, so yeah. Oh, and the other thing, housekeeping. I get housekeeping, I believe, like once a week for major stuff, and then you can add on other things. That's what I want. Now, if only they had a built-in assistant. I still would love to get an assistant, but I have to get help for my mother, and that's going to cost me enough. It's going to be very exciting for me once I'm there, and hopefully everything will go good enough that I'm not like, saying this is the biggest regret of my life. I hope my furniture makes it there no matter what I decide to take, and that my car makes it there. Once I'm there and settled, I am going to have so much fun trying to come up with new ways to make mega money, because I need mega money to pay for my mother's care. So I think it's going to be fun, and I'm going to be near Derek, and we like to brainstorm about business. We're both very business-minded people, and it's really cool that we will be able to have each other to bounce ideas off and just to think of different things. So I'm just excited for all that. I just hope that I can swing it without having to put my mother in a nursing home, because I just don't like going out of the house to visit a nursing home. I just don't. I would like her there, because I know she will still be miserable, and I worry very much because my mother is not an easy person to take care of, and the nursing homes don't know her like I do, and she is a good candidate for being abused, because she just gives them a very hard time. She wouldn't say that she does, because she just thinks she's, just everything the good way. But no, she gets mad at people, and she's very defiant, and she calls people out as I never said that kind of thing. Narcissistic personality disorder. Look it up. That is my mother. And so it just makes me uncomfortable. And then, the 6.5 months that she was at the nursing home here in Maine, it was constant phone calls of at the beginning, the nurses calling me, telling me pretty much how they can't handle her. And I put an end to that. I said, I don't want anybody calling me. It makes me nervous. It's your job. If I could do it for 20 years, you can do it. You can do it. I'm going to share some stories about that nursing home when this is all said and done. So anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but I just know that she's a tough cookie, a very tough cookie, and I worry about that. Oh yeah, so even when she was here in Maine, the phone calls were very stressful for me. She would either be complaining, even if it wasn't the nurses calling me, my mother would call me and complain and just be like, you gotta get me out of, it was stressful the whole time. And then if my mother was in a good mood, she would call me 10 times a day just to talk about good mood things. So it was like, I just wish she would just be in the other room so I can talk to her like that. But I will tell you that being a hospice patient does not make narcissistic personality disorder go away in any way, shape, or form. It's very hard, and it still gets to me every time. It's been such an experience for me that I had to go back to looking at narcissistic videos about narcissism, and I found some good ones, and I will share those with you in another video for those of you who have a narcissist in your life, because it does help me. It validates, and it gives me ways to try to deal with things. And I even thought about recording on my Growing Up Crazy channel, which is about narcissism. I haven't in, I think, 5 years, I think was the last time. That channel is still monetized. I get enough watch time that channel still earns me money every month without me even looking at it. If I did that, I would not watch anything that I already recorded. I would just start fresh, but I would stay on that channel because it's very different than what I do here. That needs its own home, just like my ASMR needs its own home. And I will be doing ASMR. I was looking at the closets, trying to think of which one's going to be my ASMR studio, and it will have to be the smaller one. And so I'm just anxious to get there, but I don't want to hope for it too much because, again, this whole round could fall apart, which would be very unfortunate. So anxious. In 1 week, this is Sunday. Oh my God, in 1 week, I'm supposed to be there Sunday night, probably very late. I might record and upload. I'm gonna be so anxious to tell you guys that I'm there. You have to go follow me on TikTok, please. I'm going to try any way possible to do some TikToks during all this bullshit. I have like 147,000 YouTube subscribers, and I just made over 3,000 TikTok followers, and I've been at 2,000 for a while. So some of you have hopped on board there. Thank you very much for that. You got me over 3,000. Let's get me over 10,000, because you know why? Then I can try out their monetization type partner program, which is pretty much pennies, but I'm curious to try it. And even if I made $10 a month, well, that pays for a steak. I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like really needing to make money here for my mother's care, because it's gonna cost me a lot of money. I will be starting out at about $3,000 per month just to have some morning help for her. The full time help that I would like is just outrageous, because I would like somebody there throughout the night, but I can handle the nights if I have the days off. But if I were to have help from morning till like bedtime, I'm looking at over 10 grand per month. And that's, I don't look at that and say that's impossible. I look at that and say, I can do that. I just need to find some more jobs or work smarter, just different business ideas. So that's the fun part for me. If I need to make 10,000 extra a month to pay for my mother's care, I don't need to make 10,000 extra. I am willing to tap into some of my savings. So, but I don't really like to tap into savings. I like them to be in the bank, because that's why they're called savings. But I can make do. I really can if I need to. I put my mind to it. All right, you know what? I'm home now, so I'm gonna just upload this. It's like all over the place. There's gonna be a lot cut out, so it might be, you know, jumping and missing parts and not making sense, but I don't care. Thank you so much for taking this final camera ride in Maine with me, and I will be back with more soon. Bye. It's not my final video, just the final one that I'm driving.